Today I'm here to review episode 6 of The Walking Dead titled Hounded. That's right, people. Back again with another review. Now, before I get off into my review, let's talk about why the governor sent Merle in the group to kill Michonne. And I mean, it's simple. It's just simple, but I want to talk about it anyway. Okay, first, the governor don't want nobody opposing his authority. He's not going to allow it. Because if you look at episode 3 of this season 3, you see him basically go and kill some U.S. soldiers or military soldiers. But yet his goal was to rebuild the human population. But how can you build them? How can you rebuild a human population when you see them as threats? I don't get that. Somebody answer that. I just don't get what he's talking about sometimes. Also, he don't want nobody questioning his leadership. He want the people of Woodbury to look at him as the hero. He don't want nobody else to basically get in his position. And to a certain extent that makes certain sense because he was able to keep them basically he was able to keep them alive for such a long time as we can tell in the series right now. And also, I mean, he's just scared. And the main reason of him trying to get rid of Michonne because it's not the fact that Michonne didn't want to join his army because she didn't. He don't want to kill her because of it. He's scared that she's going to get out and tell people about Woodbury. And as I just stated, that's his biggest fear is somebody questioning his leadership and trying to basically step above him. And we ain't seen nobody do that yet, but he never gave nobody a chance either because he kills them. He never gives nobody a chance. He kills them. So I don't get how you're trying to rebuild the human population when you see the human population that still exists or still that's still in the zombie apocalyptic world in The Walking Dead. You just kill them. It don't make no sense to me. You can't do that. But on with the review. We see Merle in a group chasing Michonne. Now we see how Michonne took some Walker body parts and kind of made some letters out of it, and she kind of makes letters out of them. Well, not real letters. She just used like certain body parts, like she used the Walker back to that. She used the Walker a back of a Walker to basically let them know go back. So you see Merle and the group find this. Now Merle have 3 men with him. He have Tim, he have Crowley, and he also have a new guy I never seen, but this guy is very young. Oh, he was very young. His name is Nail. Now that's not his name, but Merle said he's going to call him that for sharp because he couldn't remember his real name. Now we see Michonne. Now she had to jump from a tree. She had to. She jumped from a tree. She uses her katana blade and she cuts off Crowley's head, like decapitates his head with one slice of her katana blade. Now, and we also see her impale Tim in the stomach with her katana blade. Now, once Merle sees this, Merle starts to shoot his gun. Now, if you look closely, Michonne uses Tim's body as a shield to guard her from getting shot by Merle. Now, once she's done, Merle just keeps shooting, and then he shoots her in her thigh. And we can see how it kind of slows her down, but it don't. She's still able to maintain some certain amount of speed. Next scene, we see Merle is hunting. Because I said this before, Merle is a very, very valuable asset to the governor. The governor needs Merle. Only Merle could hunt that good. And he was able to sense her before before she was about to cut Nail. And we see her about to get ready to cut Nail, and Merle was able to sense her. He used his hunt instinct. And he basically pushes him out the way, and we see how Michonne tries to use a katana blade to cut Merle, but Merle was able to counter her swing and basically knock the blade out the way. And that right there shows you how good Merle is. And we see that it gets so bad that Michonne definitely she have to resort to a low blow because she wasn't able to handle him. She like let's be real. She wouldn't be able to handle Merle in a hand to hand comeback. So she have to go to a use a low blow on him. So she low blows and then she kicks Merle in the face and she kicks him so hard. I mean, he was in a daze mode, but he did see the rockets come, but it was like blurry to him. Now we see basically we see her fall down. We see a walker come to her and she basically like slices him open, slices his stomach and basically his testicles and stuff basically falls on her body. And once it hit her body, you can tell how disgusted it looked. But she winds up escaping, and Merle ends up telling Nell that she's basically going to the red zone and she's going to die. But here's the thing: what people don't realize, Merle is scared of Michonne now because Merle never had somebody who was capable on that type of level he was in hunting. He's scared of Michonne, and that's the reason he don't want to follow her. So he was talking to Neil, and Neil was basically telling him, "Oh well, I'm going to go back and tell the governor that he escaped because Merle told him to lie about it and say they killed her." But Neil was like, "No, I'm going to go back and tell him." Now here's the thing, people. Merle said something real interesting to me when I seen it. He was like, "This right here shows you that he's not really he's scared of the governor." But he don't really listen to him because basically he said he is not about to spill his blood chasing her. So meaning he is not about to go risk his life for that man trying to chase Michonne. And we see that Tim still isn't listening. Tim said, "I'm still going to go back and go tell him." That's how we know the governor have some kind of power over these people because Tim was still willing to go back and go tell him. And we just see Merle shoots him in the head, kills him instantly. Now we see Michonne, she's covered in walker blood. But now the thing is, what Michonne don't know is walkers do not like the smell of their own kind. That's the reason why they won't eat their own kind. So she didn't know this. So she had walker blood on her. And the walker just walked past her. And she was shocked, but as I say, she didn't know it. So we see another scene. We see Glenn and Maggie at a store. And we see Michonne basically spying on him, like just looking at him because she knows something is not right, but she just looking at him. And all of a sudden, Merle come out. Now here goes the thing I want to talk about because a lot of people was talking about, oh well, how Merle was able to find them. That's just not possible because he quit chasing Michonne. But here's the thing though, people, you have to remember before Merle killed Nell, he was telling Nell that basically we need to go back, and he also stated that we can go get us a car. Keyword car now. He said we can go get us a car and just go back. Or he said we need to go get us a car and go back. He wasn't coming up because you guys. He wasn't coming up because you guys thought he was still chasing Michonne. He wasn't chasing Michonne no more. He actually came in to get a vehicle, but he ends up running into Maggie and Glenn. That's how he found them. Now, we see how Glenn puts a gun up to him. And here's the thing. And this is what I find funny. Glenn was telling him basically, oh man, stay here, we'll go back and go get Daryl. Because Glenn is scared because at first he was like, Merle? Because he thought Merle was dead. Because he basically asked him, you still alive? And you see Merle asking him about Daryl and stuff. And Glenn says he's going to go back and go get Daryl because he didn't want to tell Merle their location. But I find it funny because I was watching episode 4 of The Walking Dead. And I remember Glenn talking to Herschel. And he was telling Herschel something about the prisoners. If I would have, a part of me wish wish we would have killed the prisoners as soon as we seen them. So I'm like, okay, we see Glenn is kind of going dark a little bit, embracing his dark side because what he said was kind of dark. But yet, you see Merle Dixon in front of your face and you don't shoot him? Now, you know Merle was a threat. Merle was a threat even in the Atlanta camp. Everybody was telling Rick not to go back and go save Merle. And you know he was a threat when the whole camp was saying, "Man, you crazy for going back to go save Merle." As I mentioned before, even Shane said, "Don't go back and go save Merle." He said Merle is not worth it. They called him a scum and everything. So you know this guy was trouble. I mean, he caused trouble in the camp where they was camping at. And I mean, look what he did on that rooftop to T-Dog. He even punched Rick and almost knocked him out. He beat Rick. He hit Rick so hard Rick had to handcuff his right hand. So basically, we see them talking and Glenn, as I just stated about going back to go get Daryl. Now we can look at this from two point of views, or two perspectives. Now, in a real life perspective, I'll say yes, shoot Merle. He's a scum. Shoot him, kill him. But in a TV, in a TV sense or a TV perspective, I would want to see Merle stay alive because I do want to see him and Daryl reunite again. I want to see the Dixon brother reunite. I want to see how Daryl is going to act when he meet Merle again, and also how Merle is going to act when he see Daryl again. So in real life, I would say kill him instantly. But containing to the TV show, I would say, nah, this is a good thing they didn't let Glenn kill him. Because I want to see him and Daryl have their reunions and catch up and see how the story is going to play out with them too. Now, we see Merle holding Nail's gun because Merle got his main gun in the back of his back of his pants tucked in. And we see them talking, and then this is interesting because Merle states that he's not mad. He'll forgive him about the Atlanta situation, and that right there tells me that Merle is still mad about the Atlanta situation, and he will try to probably kill Rick because he stated on multiple occasions that he called Rick a prick in this season. He called Rick a couple of names, as we can tell. So he's still mad about the situation. So we see Merle scream at Glenn. Now here's the thing. He screams at Glenn and make Glenn scared. And I'm like, what? He just screamed at him. Then he shoot the gun. So when he ran up to Glenn could have easily shot him. Because the only thing he did was scream to scare Glenn. But Glenn got scared and went and tried to duck. And then Merle shoots the gun. He didn't shoot the gun first. He screamed. And then Merle was so fast, he was able to catch a Mac. He was able to capture Maggie and put a gun to her head, and then he forces them to go back to Woodbury. Cause I'm thinking, yeah, he's definitely going to investigate them and try to find out where their location at, and basically where they shelter and where they living at. Now we see another scene where Daryl finds Carol. And that scene right there was good because Carol looked like she was almost dying. I mean, she looked like she couldn't even push the walker away from the door so she could open it. And I understand that dead weight is heavy weight, but I mean, I don't know. She couldn't even push the door. I mean, she must have been pretty weak. And from what I can tell, she probably haven't eaten in days. But he do find Carol, but we do see some concern on Daryl's face when he couldn't find her. We see him stabbing the ground and stabbing the floor. Now next, this is a story that caught my eye when Daryl was talking about this. He was telling Carl about his mother. And this story right here, I don't know, something made me just want to talk about this story. He tells Carl that his mother his mother used to like to smoke cigarettes. And he said the name of the cigarettes, he said Virginia Slim. I guess that's the brand of the cigarettes he was talking about. And he says that one day he went outside. Now listen to me, because this right here was like a key point to me. And this could have been some foreshadowing for the reunion that's gonna happen between Merle and Daryl. He says that was the only way. He says he was only able to go outside when Merle wasn't around. I'm gonna get more in detail about that in a few minutes, but he says that basically he was outside and he said he was the only person out there with no bike. He said all other kids had bikes, and he said he seen ambulances and basically police and stuff. So he said the kids start riding their bikes down the street basically. He said he was running behind them, but he couldn't catch up with them. So he said when he finally made it to where they was going to, he said all the kids on the bike looked back at him, and he say he looks and he realized that his mother was burnt to death. Basically, wasn't nothing left of her. He said it felt. He said he basically he couldn't feel it. It felt unreal to him. And this right here makes me think, because he stated that his father was a drunk. Did her death cause his father to turn into a drunk, or was his father a drunk before this incident happened? Who knows? Because I do know he was living with his father after that happened. But now let's go back to the Merle thing. He stated that he was only able to go outside when Merle wasn't around. Now listen to it. It's revealed that Merle was trying to make Daryl believe in his beliefs, in his in his way that he viewed the world, basically, or how he viewed society. That's the reason why Daryl wasn't able to go outside. Also, you also got to take into the fact is Daryl did not really consume everything that Merle tried to teach him. Although he did learn how to hunt like Merle, he didn't take in everything else, like the racistness, just a lot of stuff that Merle is. Because Merle did state that his brother Daryl was always the sweet one. But yes, it is revealed that Merle did try to teach Daryl the way he viewed the world, and he wanted Daryl to view the world the same way he did. And review the same world that he did in his perspective, how he seen it in society. So next to the next scene, we see Rick on the phone. It's revealed that Rick was talking to Amy. Now, Amy is Andrea's sister. She died in season 1. She ends up getting bitten by a walker, and Andrea have to kill her. Well, we see him talking to Andrew, but this is just an illusion. This is not real. He just hallucinating. That's all. And we hear Amy telling him that basically, we have a camp. We have a camp and stuff. And she basically tells him, "I'll call you back in 2 hours." Then we see him go up. Then we see him go to the cafeteria, talk to everybody, ask them about the backup generators and about that they need weapons, food, and supplies and stuff. Next, he gets another call. Now this call is from Jim. Now Jim is from The Walking Dead. He's from season 1 too. Now Jim was the guy who had got bitten by a walker, but he ends up he never turns in front of us, because I remember when he was in Dale RV, and then Rick them decides he tells Rick that he want them to take him out Dale's RV, because he say every time Dale hits a bump in his RV, he feel like his spikes or glass hit his bones, because he was transforming into a walker. So he said he's feeling pain. So Rick them takes him out the RV and just put him on the tree and just let him sit there. He tells Rick it's okay, you can leave, because he knew he was going to turn anyway. Now that's who Jim is. He's from season 1, but Jim calls him and asks Rick, "How many people have you murdered?" And Rick explained to him how many people. He tells him about. He don't say their names. He tells him about Thomas. He tells him about the 2 guys. He tells him about Dave and Tony from season 2 at the bar, and he also tells him about Shane, about people that he murdered. And so Jim asks him, "How did you lose your wife?" He said he didn't want to talk about that. And so then it just causes Jim the illusion to hang the phone up. Next call, he gets a call from what's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh, not a name. It's Jackie. Now Jackie is the black African American male that's from the season 1. Now she was the one who died with Dr. Jenner when he committed suicide in the CDC lab. She calls him and basically asks him why come he didn't tell Jim about his wife, and he said that he will tell her about it, but then the phone just kind of hangs up and he just goes crazy because he also did it with Jim. He just goes crazy. Like I say, he's really hallucinating. And we also see a scene with him and Herschel. And Herschel is trying to basically get this weight off his shoulders, telling him, "You saved my life for cutting off my leg." And he also tells Herschel about how sorry Lori was before she died. And he finally gets the call from Lori herself. And I feel like this was his subconscious talking to him. And she basically tells him how sorry, she didn't tell him how sorry she was, but she told him that we got a baby together now. And that's what you need to be trying to protect. And we see him break down and start crying. I mean, this was awesome. I mean, it was awesome, even though it was he wasn't imagining everything, or just imagine it. I think it was an awesome scene overall, because this right here took a big weight off his shoulders. Because at first he didn't really talk to the baby. We seen that when he went to the cafeteria, but now we see after Lori talks to him, he realizes that she forgives him, because you have to remember, a lot of this also plays with guilt, because he do feel bad for the way he treated her before she died. But this right here took a big weight off his shoulders, because like even though it was fake, it was still like her saying that she forgave him for what he did. Just take care of our baby. And we see that he acknowledges that, and he goes back up to the top of the floor and pick the baby up, because he was in that boiler room the whole time. You can see the walker that he killed that had Laura. He was in that boiler room for a long time. And we also see a scene with Michonne when she comes to the prison with the baby food, with the baby powder, and we also see her with the food all in the basket, and we can tell that she's still blending in with the walker because she got the walker blood on her. That was a good scene. And final scene, man, Andrea just, oh Jesus Christ, her character is just everywhere. I mean, at first she said she didn't like the fights, but now she's saying deep down inside she liked the fight. I'm like, what? I don't get Andrea. Then she's jumping over the wall, stabbing walkers, and they already said if that's necessary, do that. But that was not necessary to jump over that wall. Even though that girl with that bow and arrow had a terrible aim, it wasn't necessary to jump over that wall and kill that walker like that. I mean, Andrea's character is just everywhere. Jesus. And she also had sex with the governor. I'm like, you already know what this person was. He already told you he keep walking still. I'm like, why is you still there? But Andrea is a sucker for love. This is just like that. And we also see a scene with Merle talking to the governor. And this is how you know that he fears the governor, because he tells the governor that yes, Michonne is dead, but we basically don't the walkers overtook us, because he basically telling about the other men who ends up dying too. But he does tell him, yes, Michonne is dead, but it was too many walkers for me to pick a head up in a katana blade. And as I stated, the governor wanted her head as a prize, or as a prize position. That's what it was. It's like a serial killer that collect heads as trophies. That's what he wanted. And he also wanted her katana blade. But he know Merle is lying. Now, here goes the thing, and I find this funny. What the governor gonna do when he find out that Michonne is still alive? What is he gonna do to Merle? That's the good question. That's the good question right there. But yeah, this was my review for The Walking Dead episode 6 titled Hounded. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And Carl also confirmed that he killed Laurie. All right, so stop saying Laurie is alive. Carl already said he killed her. You got proof there. So hope you guys enjoyed this review, and peace.